Hello everybody and welcome to my YouTube channel for my review on one of the least anticipated movies of all time, given its dramatic number of delayed release dates. Another film from Fox based around the X-Men but twisted into a horror. This is Kia's Reviews and this is my review of The New Mutants. April 13th, 2018, February 22nd, 2019, August 2nd, 2019, April 3rd, 2020, August 28th, 2020. These are all release dates for the Fox's latest X-Men movie. Everybody stopped thinking that this film even existed, let alone could come out in cinemas, but now that it's here, did The New Mutants meet average expectations? No, it did not. This movie is so painfully boring that it struggles to get a proper story out of anything it's supposed to pose to its audience. Terribly paced with absolutely horrible direction from Josh Boone, there is very little to like about The New Mutants. The one consistent element to this movie that made it at least watchable was the cast and also the CGI. The 2-year delay in release dropped everybody's expectations completely that no one cared about this even coming out. How do I know this? I was one of them. However, unlike the trailers, the CGI was surprisingly decent and the cast varied in terms of their performances, with some highlights, but some just adding to the awfulness. Anya Taylor-Joy and Maisie Williams are very entertaining in this movie, and both are the standouts of the entire film. The rest of the cast are pretty good and work together quite well to produce a quite good ensemble performance. When this movie was announced way back when, I was really into the idea of a horror X-Men inspired movie, as it seemed like a perfect way to build up a new set of mutants, but in a horror setting. Everything to do with the concepts that could have been done well with this movie are excellent, but the execution was terrible. Even though I really did enjoy going along the journey of this film with the characters and understanding little bits of their backstory, there really is no emotional connection for any of the characters, as there was very little character development to feel anything for any of them. As I mentioned briefly before, the CGI was surprisingly impressive for the amount of scenes it needed to be in, but there isn't much more to say to sing this movie's high praises. I really enjoyed the final act of this film, however, when all the mutants fought together against this massive Magik CGI bear. The CGI looked amazing here. It became an action film by the end, which, even though it's an issue with the film, it doesn't excuse the fact that it was really exciting. Very vibrant and colourful, these final action sequences save the movie from utter awfulness. Even though The New Mutants is definitely one of my least favourite blockbusters of the year, down with Bloodshot and Sonic the Hedgehog, there really was nothing for the audience to connect with, whether that was character-based, story-wise, etc. This film gave none of that. The pacing was so off as each scene seemed to adopt a new tone/style to which it didn't end up feeling like a horror film whatsoever, but rather a mix of horror, comedy, and action that resulted in a complete mess. This movie just hit all the wrong notes.
Are you crazy? That thing will kill you!
He's right, it's Magik. So am I.
Overall, I'm glad I got to see this once and become familiar with the film's positives and negatives, but I would never watch The New Mutants again. A strong ensemble cast performance and some surprisingly decent CGI does barely anything to save a complete wreck of a movie with terrible character development, awful dialogue, and just a purely flat film. I'm sure there could have been a good movie somewhere here, but what we got is definitely not what we wanted, so I'm giving The New Mutants a 5 out of 10. Thank you so much for watching. Have you seen The New Mutants, or are you yet to see it? Let me know below. If you like what you're seeing here and you want to see even more, check out my channel and be sure to have a look at my previous review of Tenet and my reaction to DC Fandom Hall of Heroes. As always, be sure to follow and subscribe to my YouTube channel. This has been Kia's Reviews, signing off for now.